Hamilton Southeastern School Board formally accepting the resignation of Superintendent Yvonne Stokes. It happened during a special board meeting just hours ago.
Cameron Riddle was in that meeting and he's joining us now. Cameron, you spoke to with the board president afterward. Tell us more about that.
Hey, yeah, so the board president was the one who was running the meeting this morning at 7 o'clock to announce that Dr. Yvonne Stokes, who was the first black superintendent brought in July of 2021, as of today is no longer the superintendent of the state's fourth largest school district. Right now, the former assistant superintendent, Matt Kegley, is now the interim superintendent until further notice. Now, there is some back and forth, some discrepancies, if you will, about how we got here today. If you talk to the parents who were in that school board meeting this morning, they're very clear. They believe that their superintendent, a black woman, was pushed out of her job and that she was forced to resign because they say due to the working conditions and environment that she was under with this current school board, which is not the school board that hired her in 2021. Dawn Lang, who is the president, was among a number of people who were brought in 2022, and she's who I took those direct concerns from the parents, nearly verbatim, their quote, and asked her to get her reaction to why Dr. Stokes is leaving. President Lang would only say that this was the choice of Dr. Stokes to resign, and she said that she was a nice person, but I tried to ask her questions about would you like her to stay or her performance evaluation as the board president. This was the line of questioning that we had after this morning's school board meeting.
In the middle of one of the most important referendums of our school year.
Her support, and this was the only option, that the conditions, her working conditions, let's put it that way, were so bad that she needed to resign.
I think that this is her choice. She chose to step forward and resign, and we're honoring her request.
Would you rather she stay?
This is her request, and we're honoring her request. She chose to resign, and we're moving forward with her legal request, and our obligation as a school district to ensure that we're setting up our district for success going forward.
Forward to working with Dr. Kegley as the head of our district.
And later in the line of questioning, I asked, because this was the central topic, the school board did not give a reason, only to say that Dr. Stokes chose to resign, but the people in that room, the parents who spoke, both black and white, all said that this was due to ongoing racism that she was faced. I asked this direct question. I said, the people in the audience said, if this is not a race issue, then what is it? She said that she chose to move forward with a resignation, and we are honoring that. I asked, could you explain about her job performance as the board president? And she said, I think anyone going through job performance opportunity is going to have challenges. That was about the individual perceptions, because I asked, these are the perceptions, and she said, well, it's interesting for people to go and try and search and find an answer as to why, especially in light of this situation. She said, but at the end of the day, she came forward and asked for her resignation, and we honored her request. And I asked her, could you evaluate her role as superintendent, her job performance, and she said that was confidential. So at the end of the day, the board here not giving any reason for her resignation other than saying that she made the request to resign. She will be paid out her entire contract, which ends in 2024. She'll get all of this year's money that she would have received, as well as her benefits, as long as she doesn't take a job elsewhere. And just finally here, the school board meeting is raising a lot of questions because it was scheduled for 7 o'clock this morning. At that time, a lot of employees, buses were already rolling, so employees were at work. I asked the president about that, and she said we commonly do business on the board at this time of day, and that is to a point true. I went through the school board documents from this year and from last year, and they have had a number of work sessions and executive sessions, some that have been live streamed, some that have been closed during the day at 7 o'clock, but they have not had a special session, with the exception of one in November of 2022, which was about a building renovation at Lantern Elementary. But there's been nothing of this magnitude that has happened at 7 o'clock in the morning, where the criticism is the employees of the district have not got a chance to speak. They got to see it, but they did not get to speak in this school board meeting. That's the latest from Fishers. I'm Cameron Riddle, Fox 59 News.